unreal rig rundown with Ben and Maddie. This looks very, very lovely. What was your sort of budget to get into this vehicle?
So we went with the cheap and simple Kmart option.
Thanks guys for calling past work before your big epic trip around Australia.
Yeah.
Right, I met you guys at the Southern Downs 4x4 Open Day in Warwick. Now you are Ben's daughter, is that correct, Maddie?
Yep, that's me.
Yes, and they've got another awesome shop in Warwick as well, Top 2 Motorcycles. So you are covered for all your off-road needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But guys, you have got an unbelievable 90 series Prado, which is a 95 because it's actually a long wheelbase. The 90 is a short wheelbase before everyone gets up us. Okay. But what you have done for this rig, for your epic lap around Australia, gone for over 12 months, folks. Who's jealous? I am. Well, you know, they're just showing everyone that you can do it on a budget and with the current vehicle that you already have, with just a little bit of blood, sweat and tears and a bit of grit and determination to actually fit this out with all the necessary products to live off grid for 3+ weeks at a time.
3+ weeks, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, absolutely amazing. Guys, I think I've done enough chatting for the public here. I'm going to hand it over to you guys and you can tell us about the vehicle. I mean, has it got a name to start with?
Penny.
Penny.
Penny the Prado.
Yeah.
Penny the Prado. There you go, folks. You know, when you see them on the tracks, you're going to have to beep and out the window, Penny, or if one of them doors, Penny, Penny, Penny.
Just put warm winch in last week. Obviously the ARB bull bar 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗕𝗘 booster.
Okay.
And then just your standard UHF.
And what's this one here, mate? That's a nice looking light.
Steady light bar. That used to be down here.
Okay.
And then we had to move it. So that just got bolted up to the
This
bull bar
looks
up there.
very, very lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, this bar, is it new?
Yeah, it is new. It's how long? 12 months old?
Yeah, about 12 months old now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
Made
nice
Melbourne.
and fresh. Yep. It was the last one that they had in Australia at the time when I went to purchase it, thank goodness, because I didn't want any other bar other than ARB on the car. So I was very lucky to grab the last one up before it was sold to someone else.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks absolutely stunning. I mean, worn winches, I mean, they are the OG, aren't they? So
yeah,
absolutely fantastic choice there. I mean, Steedy lights, they're a well-renowned light nowadays. I mean, they're very good. The good old GME UHF.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with GME.
I'm just not so sure about these self-fire things. Like, how does that actually really work? Do you need a bar of service on your phone? Or, you know, will it get service where you don't have anything? Like,
yeah, so they won't create reception out of nothing, but they will, if just enough to get a phone call out in a lot more places where you wouldn't be able to get a phone call out. So it's more for emergency uses.
Okay.
They do boost data, SMS and call, but most of the time when you're out there, flick it on and it's just enough to get a phone call out.
Okay, well,
so,
tell you what, in 12 odd months time, hopefully we can catch up again. I'd really
I'll let
like
you
your
know how it goes,
feedback on that, because everybody wants to know, you know, what they can get at an affordable price that's going to give them more reception. Is there anything else that you're taking for emergencies? EPIRB, Starlink, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely
we will be taking a PLB, a GME PLB with us, again, for emergency use. But for the most part, it's going to be the sulfide booster, and then if we get stranded somewhere, we've got the PLB. We've also got a chart in the car with all of our UHF channels, so in the event of emergency, we know which channels we can contact.
To jump on the repeater and ask for help?
Yeah, exactly. So that's sort of our plan in case things go south while we're out there.
Look at that.
It's going to be wet too.
You know, look at this. It's raining, folks. Apparently, when you get married, if it's raining, it's good luck. Maybe we'll do that for these guys' trip.
Yeah.
Let's say that when we're filming the rig rundown on the go, we're all getting a little bit of moisture on us. Right, I think we've covered the front end.
Yeah.
While we're here under the bonnet, have you done any mods?
Not much.
Oh, a little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
Two starter batteries. So yeah, we got 2 starter batteries here, literally only for running starting the car and running the winch. That's it.
Have you?
That's it. Keep it
Yeah,
simple.
that's the go. Have you guys done any tunes or anything like that? You're just going to keep it standard?
Just want to keep it standard, just want it reliable, not looking for a lot of power.
We wanted that old Toyota reliability. You can't go wrong with the old 3 litres, and we just didn't want to jeopardise that. So keeping it stock standard. She's had a bit of mechanical work done, just had a big, big servicing, new clutch and everything like that, and had all the oils changed. And we're bringing a couple spares, but other than that, we just wanted to keep that reliability and not put ourselves in danger of anything
Blowing up.
wrong under the
Absolutely. But I mean, Toyota reliability, you mentioned that. I mean, Toyotas are renowned for being so reliable. And I mean, these Prados, you see predominantly V6s in these. You don't actually see the diesels that often.
You don't see a lot getting around anymore,
No, but I tell you what, this is extremely tidy under the engine bay, like abnormally tidy.
we like to keep her nice and clean. She's
wow. Absolutely unreal. I mean, how many Ks has it got on it so far?
We're up to 230,000 now. I bought it with 190,000 in 2020, I think.
Okay, so you haven't done that many Ks in it, really?
No, a couple Fraser Island trips and a bit of up and down the coast, but other than that, it hasn't done heaps.
Quite low K car. I mean, absolutely fantastic. If you don't mind me asking, what was your sort of budget to get into this vehicle?
Well, originally for me, I had an old 80 series, which I found to be a hunk of not great stuff. So I had about 10 to 15 grand to play with, and my old neighbour actually sold this car to me, bone stock, had nothing on it. And I paid about, I think it was about $12,000 or $13,000, and that was in 2020.
I tell you what, with 190,000 Ks on it, what a steal. I mean, absolutely mint. I mean, okay, and I know there's some other things happen to this underneath, because you guys were chatting about working out the times that you can get here. You've done some amazing work to the suspension on this car. Do you want to run through and tell everybody at home what you've done, like leading up to this trip, so they don't have to worry about mucking around, hopefully for the whole time you're away?
Ideally.
That's the idea.
Ideally. So new upper trailing arms, new lower trailing arms. New lower ball joints, upper ball joints, upper control arms, lower control arms, steering rack and pinion bushes.
Sway bar mount bushes, new sway bar links.
Kind of gave all the rubber under the car a refresh, and for some reason it's cheaper to buy OEM replacement lower and upper control arms than just buying the bushes.
Wow.
So it's cheaper and easier to just change the whole arm.
There you go.
So it got all new arms.
Yeah, it's all looking very fresh and tidy under there.
There you go, for the Prado 90 series people out there, that's a good piece of information. Buy the genuine stuff.
Yes.
And what suspension are you running under the car?
It's a 2-inch Bilstein suspension kit, that I think is only 3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, it went in pretty much straight after I bought the car. It was one of the first things I did.
So what's that, a 40mm lift?
Yeah, I think it's about 40 millimetres,
Okay, very, very good suspension as well. Bilstein, been around for a very long time, trusted. It's very hard to pick suspension these days because everyone is such at a high level.
Yeah, there's a lot of brands out there now, but I feel like Bilstein has just got that name to it.
There you go. What else do we need to work on next? Is there anything up the front here that you want to tell the folks at home about, or do we move further down the vehicle?
I think we can move along now. I think the only thing happening under here was it's clean and it's got 2 batteries under the bonnet.
Nice and respectable.
It's just neat and tidy and simple.
You got to come have a look at how tidy that is. The weather's decided to turn it on. It's just getting a little bit heavier while we're trying to film this. So we're going to throw up the 30-second awning, and we're going to stand under that, and I'm sure the cameraman is actually going to enjoy that better. Now the awning is up, how bloody good is that? We'll have to change around what we're going to chat about, but is this like a lucky dip if I open this door?
Maybe. A little bit,
All right, open this up. Well, nothing's fallen out so far. But don't zoom in on that. There could be underwear. What have you got going on in the back here?
So this was our cheap and weight saving sort of method of being able to store clothes. We wanted to keep them in the car so that if the car ever becomes detached from the trailer and we're just working out of this, we've got everything we really need here. So we went with the cheap and simple Kmart option. of just some plastic tubs.
Yeah, screwed together.
Yeah, exactly. Just screwed together and then screwed into our platform. And all of my clothes live in there. This is my side, and his side is on the other side.
In the wet side.
Holy
Yeah.
moly, though. Have you seen this, folks? I'm saying to my wife at home, 3 drawers. They're going for 12 months.
Oh, we've got some extra bits and bobs at the top there, but yeah.
Jumpers and jackets and stuff like that at the top, tops in the bottom, pants in the middle, and undies and socks and everything on the bottom. So it is a bit slim pickings, but
That's okay. It's not a fashion contest. You go in there to enjoy yourselves and explore our beautiful country. So you did a lot of solo travel by yourself as a lady. It can be quite daunting, and I can understand why you would have yourself in a secure area. So in the back there, you've got a pretty good looking setup. That's a flash looking fridge.
it very much is. Yep. It's a brass monkey. Well, how many litres is it?
60,
60,
50,
70?
57 or something like that. Yeah.
Something.
Not a big one, but it's the right size for the car.
I think that'll be well and truly enough.
We've got another fridge in the camper as well.
Beer? Fridge?
Alcohol
Yeah,
fridge.
I think alcohol fridge, yeah.
I bet you the alcohol fridge is bigger, is it?
It's significantly larger, yeah. Yep.
That is unreal. Now, you've gone with the upright fridge.
Yes.
Okay, what made you go with the upright fridge in the back of this?
It's probably her height, to be honest.
Yeah.
Reaching into a chest fridge that's usually up to here.
Yeah.
We did have
I had to climb into the car.
Yeah, we did have a chest fridge in here once upon a time, and yeah, she had to climb into the car to get into it. And
But I think it'd make it more awkward though as well, wouldn't it? Especially if you've got that nice top shelf.
Now that we've got that platform, a chest fridge just would work in here, unless maybe you had it on a full slide out drawer, which again for us takes up a lot more space than we want.
yeah, a lot of moving parts in there. With this, we can stack stuff all around the fridge and
Absolutely. And
it's
my next
static.
thing about being an upright fridge, which I really love upright fridges, due to the fact they're very, very light. You know, you guys have got, weight conscious build, and I think that's a great addition for keeping the weight down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you've got the drawer system in the back. Now, is there anything special in the drawer system that you've got going on, or is that just completely storage?
Yeah, look, not necessarily. It's mostly just storage. We do have a few special bits and bobs in here. So this first drawer has
coffee
our
machine.
Coffee
coffee machine.
our lifesaver. Just a couple of bits of food items and stuff like that. Do have a backup inductor stuff in windy weather.
Yep.
So that we can move away from the gas stove, which just does not work in the wind. Just a good backup.
See, that's a really good point you made about windy weather and having induction as a backup, which obviously leads on to the next thing. You must have an unreal power system in this to be able to run the induction cooker.
It's his favourite
Yeah,
toy.
that's probably my favourite toy. Is all of this. Yeah.
So if there's nothing else in the drawers that is exciting or we can't look at, folks,
It's just tools in another one.
tell us about the electrical package or system that you've put together.
Yeah, it's been my love child for the last couple of probably like 14, 15 months, slowly piecing it together, putting it together. This first thing would be in behind there. That's probably one of the proudest achievements I did. Running that 240 cable from the inverter to here was a punish.
Wow.
Getting it through that grommet in the door. And it's just neat because that's where the inverter cooktop goes, the blender, the NutriBullet, the coffee machine, everything just goes on here, plugs into
All
there.
the things that you've probably got in those drawers there.
It's all in the drawer ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that there is unreal. You folks at home are going to have a look at that setup. It's a flush, normal PowerPoint that you would have at home, but also something that we missed when we were chatting back here before was the homemade table that you guys have done there. That looks absolutely unreal. And you've got the, the beer cooler mat or alcohol mat, whatever you want to have. So that's not just the kitchen bench, that's the bar as well.
Yes.
It is the bar. It was the bar on Fraser Island with all our friends. Yeah, this was the bar.
All the cocktail stuff up there. Yep.
Well, while it's still raining outside, tell us about the camper. Like, we don't need to open it all. See the water? We don't need to open it all up and all that sort of stuff. Was it second hand when you got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Second hand.
Okay.
Yep.
Second hand market.
Were you hunting for long before you found this camper trailer? Does it tick the boxes? What were you actually looking for in a camper trailer that you know, was going to be ideal for what you were doing?
Well, originally we were looking at just getting a box trailer and welding some shocks to it
Yeah.
and putting a tent on it.
Yep, trying to stay, you know, within the budget.
Trying
Yes.
to keep the budget down, but we found this one and it was just, it ticked every single box. We could imagine it was the right price. It had a kitchen, heaps of storage, and that particular tent, which is the tent we wanted, already on it.
Wow.
So obviously buying secondhand
just-
things with
yeah.
the accessories you already want
Yeah.
is cheaper.
Yep.
Absolutely winning though.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks very, very good condition.
Yeah.
Is it old?
No, it's a 2019 model. The bloke that we bought it off, he'd bought it brand new and had it for a couple of years, and he'd always garaged it. It was well kept after. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he
we're
looked
about to
after
go-
his stuff.
Yeah, and we're about to go drag it into the bush. But
Well, that's what they're made for. I haven't actually seen this particular camper before. What's it actually called?
so it's the Stony Creek Nuggets.
Nugget.
Yeah.
There you go.
know.
What a cool name. So
Interesting.
it was a golden nugget for you guys to find it.
It was, yeah,
it very
it
much
was.
was,
It was
yeah.
in, where was it? Taree.
Yeah, it was up in, down in Taree.
Well, down in Taree, yeah.
Down in Taree. So
you
we
go.
had to go for quite a bit of drive to go get it, but yeah.
Well worth it by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And look, I've just had a quick look around it, but it looks like it's got heaps and heaps of storage. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We've pretty much got a cupboard for everything. We've got a kitchen cupboard. There's a food storage cupboard. One of the cupboards has our big fridge in it. How big's our fridge in there?
I think it's 72 litres, I think. Just
72 litres.
classic
Okay.
Dometic fridge.
Yeah, dual zone.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Plenty of room for beers.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got our bathroom section over there. And then in the front, there's the whole section is sort of open from each end.
Yeah.
So that's where we shovel our big sleeping bags and big items like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been able to fit everything we could possibly want in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it looks amazingly compact,
Yeah.
but it seems to be the TARDIS
Yeah. Yeah.
that you've explained.
Yeah.
If the rain subsides, we'll be able to have a bit more of a look around it. Now, have a look at how everything has come out of this camper. I wasn't wrong when I said it was the TARDIS. And you've got an awning here to cover yourself when you're cooking and things like that for the bad weather today. For example, which I'm sure you guys are going to hit at some stage.
Yeah.
And there's no plans of staying in hotels or anything like that. You're going to tough it out when it does get bad.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the idea.
yeah.
Yep.
The
Maybe-
budget doesn't really allow for
Yeah, for much else.
frequent
yeah.
hotel visits. Yeah, but if it's been a rough couple of weeks, then maybe we might have one night in a motel. But
Treat
yeah,
ourselves to a caravan park every so often.
yeah.
Well, caravan parks are absolutely unreal for stopping at.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got the facilities, you've got to do washing somewhere.
Have a
So,
shower.
and if you get an unpowered campsite, because you guys don't need power,
We don't need power. Yeah.
you know, it's going to be, you know, stopping for luxuries on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
So before the rain starts, let's get all this away and we'll quickly check out the other side. I'm really impressed with this Nugget camper. So on here, you've got a solar panel as well. What wattage is that one?
Another one, or I think that'd probably be about a 200 watt solar panel.
200 watt, and
Yep. And then we got
what is that one on there?
475.
475 watt home panel, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a house panel. Yeah, so it's 42 volt panel on the roof of the Prado.
So you've got heaps and heaps of solar. I mean, does this side open up like the other and it's
It
got all the
does.
fancy stuff? So what's in these particular cupboards?
So we've got all of our 12 volt stuff in here. So our batteries.
that's a
DC
neat setup, isn't it?
charger. Yeah, yeah. It's nice and compact and you can just fold it away, which is really nice. This is our toiletries
Yep.
section.
Look at that.
So all of our
It's our
towels,
laundry,
bedding, extra hoses, everything.
Okay, ready for, so has this got a grey water tank or anything like that?
No, it doesn't have a grey water tank. We do have just a standard water tank.
Okay, yep.
So the idea is that we do have the option of a shower via the shower awning.
Yep.
But it is a bit tricky with grey water, so it'll sort of depend where we are.
Just depends on the free camp areas or whatever
Yeah,
else for the logistical nightmare or the legality, whatever
yeah,
you want
well,
to call
yeah,
it.
We've got a jerry can we can fill up with grey water.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just they're getting a bit funny with that sort of thing, aren't they,
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days?
they are.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to keep it.
Yeah. And then look at all that. You guys look so organised. How about that? That is absolutely amazing. I'll close that up before it gets wet. For the folks at home, do you have like a rough budget that you had set out to start with and said, I've got to stick to this, but we need this, this and this and this to actually complete what we need to do our journey?
I think we had a bit of an idea in terms of what amount of cash we wanted to be able to leave with so that we could get a good stretch without needing to worry about money. In terms of the build of the car, I guess we sort of just had to battle the pros and cons of spending money in order to keep safe and functionality and that sort of thing. And also, you know, is it getting a bit too much spending money on other things? So we didn't have an exact budget for the build.
Yeah, it was just something we chipped away at over the years, and it's pretty hard to get lost in spending thousands and thousands of dollars on these things that sometimes people do. You know, if we did, I wanted to put an air locker in the back of it, and I wanted to do all sorts of other stuff, but you just got to stop somewhere, and otherwise we'd have no money to actually do the travelling with.
Yeah,
so.
I think my suggestion would just be to sort of plan it out in advance and take your time and do it once and do it right.
Okay, so that's great advice. Is there any other advice that you could give people considering doing this at home? You know, some of the things that you've made mistakes on and you reckon you wouldn't do that again, or anything like that that you could share with everyone to save them the trouble?
I don't know. I don't want to trash any particular brands or anything like that, because I've probably got some opinions.
Oh, not brands, just
things,
you could, if you're worried about brands, you say choose products you're going to put in your car wisely, and if you have to spend a little bit more money to make sure that that's the right product, I would recommend doing that, because doing things twice actually costs you more than actually paying the premium for the right product in the first place.
Yeah, poor man pays twice.
Yeah, so if you want to put that into
a couple of times.
You want to put that into perspective, if that's where you're going with that.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah,
It's just buying things right the first time, putting the right products in the car the first time round. I've made the mistake many times putting cheaper stuff in, which is good for the weekenders and stuff for the longer hauls. It's just, it doesn't quite last as long as it should. So good quality products, doing that right the first time.
Yeah, because it's right, it costs more in the long run when you've got to do something twice. And if it fails when you're out in the middle of nowhere,
so much trouble. Yeah,
especially when it comes to electrical and different things like that.
It could be dangerous,
Yeah, exactly,
Absolutely. Well, you guys look pretty damn cozy, and you've set this up like unreal in the front here. You've got some mad stuff going on behind you, like a full-on wall. It looks like you've got a fridge in the middle there. You've got your UHF. You've got your little quad locks on each side, so you're both set up. You've got these awesome rope-style handles. Tell us why and how you set it up this way.
I think the backboard was his idea.
That was my inception,
Yeah,
sort of, I don't know, one night I sort of thought about it like, oh, it'd be pretty cool if we did something like that with the recessed shelving. Our original plan was to have a laptop in here, but the laptop was too big. But it's a good space to store sunnies and cables and Kindle and all sorts of little bits and bobs, drone batteries, sit there on charge. And then 240 volt electricity, inverter switch, and then all our lights on the outside of the car, and SIGI socket, more USB points. And then there's the 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚𝗘𝗗 booster antenna there as well, which our phones will connect to for.
Very, very neatly done, I must say as well. Very impressive.
Yeah, we took our time with it. And it's been really good for just keeping the noise from the back of the car out when we're driving as well. Being an older car, you know, a little bit of road noise. So we put a little bit of
we sound deaden the car builders stage 1 on the floor here and in these 2 doors. So you didn't go crazy with it, but you did put a little bit
just
in.
enough to quieten it all down.
Yeah.
You know, like the little small things like the quad locks here, so you can either charge your phones or look at dual maps or different things like that. That'll help with the navigation. Looks like you've got an aftermarket stereo in it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Has it got any navigation on there? Like, can you link obviously your phones to it or your iPad?
Yeah, it's got the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
Yeah, linked up to a reverse camera as well, which is handy too.
That's awesome. And the fridge?
Yeah, the fridge.
What is that one?
The favourite. Brass monkey as well, same as the upright fridge in the rear.
Wow.
And it's pretty good. Probably end up using this on the longer hauls as like a deep freezer for meats and stuff.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but for all the road trips and stuff, having water and anything else on the go is pretty nice. Yeah.
Putting snacks in there.
That is tremendous. So I've just spotted you've got a tow pro there.
Yes.
So the camper trailer has got brakes.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yep. Which is good for safety, especially when you're traversing some really, really nasty terrain. You can use the brakes on the trailer to pull you up a little bit as well and keep it under control.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than slipping and sliding and it overtaking you, because that could ruin the whole adventure straight away.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this is super, super impressive. I'm going to let you guys at home, check out their unbelievable workmanship. It is second to none. Well, I tell you what, we've covered so much, and there's probably so much we've missed as well, because the detail and complexity of your build to get everything that you guys have wanted is absolutely unreal. I mean, one thing we did not touch on is that you've got some steel wheels there and you've got some all-terrain looking tyres. What brands are those ones there?
Those are the 𝗕𝗢𝗚 ST Maxes. They're sort of the middle between an all-terrain and a mud terrain, so a little bit better for the off-road, but not without the loudness and, I guess, bumpier ride of a mud terrain.
Okay, so they're rugged terrain, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, which is a brilliant mix. I run rugged terrains on my vehicle. I run some Mickeys, and I've got some Coopers as well on my cars. They are a really good tyre. And look, I just want to say thank you very much, Ben and Maddie, for taking the time before you leave on your epic trip, okay, to just spend with us and go through your pride and joy and how you've fitted it out to be on your travels. And like I said earlier, I really want to touch base with you in 12 months and let us know what worked, what didn't, what you change up again, and tell us about your mad adventures. Well, what an absolute pleasure you guys have been. Make sure you have the best time, and we wish you the safest possible trip, because it is going to be next level cool. And as we've been told before by our cameraman, you've got to suck the guts out of life, you know, and live it to the absolute best you possibly can. You guys are off to an absolute cracking start. So make sure you get out there and have yourself a dirty, muddy weekend, but in your case, a dirty, muddy year.
Yeah.